Alright, this is Miss Callahan, and what I'm going to do is a brief overview for Intro to Biology and the other units for the EOC in Biology in North Carolina. The first step is bio. Bio means living. So biology means study of. Anytime you see ology, you should think study of. And then the word that comes before it is what you're actually studying, which is living things. We went over the scientific method to start with, and we talked about the different steps. The first step, of course, was observation. And like I said, this is going to be a quick review, so I'm going to speed through it. We went over also qualitative and quantitative. Please remember that qualitative means observations, and that's what it's based on. So, for example, that boy's shirt is blue. And then quantitative, with the extra T in it, I think of time, in other words, numbers. So that's more of your numerical data. We also talked about the difference between a theory and law. Please remember that a theory is an explanation of something. And then we also talked about microscopes. There are different types of microscopes. We use the compound microscope, as you see in this picture here, and you can tell the magnification due to the objective. I want to say observation. Due to the objective time the eyepiece. So if our eyepiece is 10x and our objective is 10x, then that would be 100 times that we have magnified our specimen, which we would put, on our stage. Next, we also talked about the other kinds of microscopes, so please remember that there are other types that are more expensive, SIM and TIM. SIM is scanning electron microscope, and TIM is transfer electron microscope. And these guys can see a lot better and can magnify a lot better than our lovely compound microscopes that we use during our lab. The last thing that we went over was the characteristics of life. We talked about reproduction, so everything is required to reproduce somehow. So remember, bacteria does binary fission. We also talked about growth and development, so everything needs to grow that's living. We talked about cellular composition, so they should be made up of cells if they are living. Basic needs. In other words, like us, we require water, but not everything requires the same things that we do, but they need to have some type of physical need. Physical response, in other words, if they don't get these physical needs, or if they get too much of these physical needs. And then they have to have genetic information, they have to maintain homeostasis, and they have to adapt or evolve to their surroundings. And that's all for Intro to Biology.